Hello, this is Stampy, and welcome to a video, reaction, or feedback, or just my early thoughts for the trailer for the Minecraft movie. So I've literally just watched it now and put together some of my thoughts. So I'm recording this on the day that it came out. So these are going to be super raw thoughts, and obviously this is just the trailer. Like, this is like just over a minute of footage of the film. And so obviously my thoughts here, doesn't necessarily mean that's what my thoughts are going to be of the final film, but I wasn't going to do this video, but I saw this trailer dropped and I watched it and I immediately had a bunch of thoughts, and I'm by myself right now, and it's kind of annoying when you're like, I want to talk about it, but I got no one to talk about it to. And then I looked to Twitter and there was a lot of people kind of messaging me curious about my thoughts. So I was like, you know what? This isn't the kind of thing I normally do, but it's Minecraft. I'm Stampy. I might as well say what I think. And you can choose to ignore it or listen to it or whatever if you want. That's what this is going to be. I wrote up like my thoughts because originally I was just going to do like a tweet with just kind of what my thoughts were, because a lot of people were asking me on there. And then I was like, I might as well do a video because that's just a little bit more consumable for people. And a lot of the things I was talking about, it'd be good to have a video example of. So I thought a video would make sense. So I'm going to be kind of just reading most of my thoughts, but I literally just wrote them like a second ago. This isn't like obviously some big pre-planned thing because I didn't know this trailer was coming out. I don't know if they even announced it. One thing I'll just say like right off the top is I'm not in this film. A lot of people think that I'm going to be in the film or messaging me saying like Stampy should be on the film. I'm not in it. That's not a trick. That's not going to pull the rug out from under you. And surprise, I am actually in it. I'm not in it. And I'm also just not involved in it in any way. Like, I'm not consulting or in any way anything to do with this film. I am just watching this as a viewer like everyone else is. And that's kind of what my opinion is just someone who is a fan of Minecraft and is reacting to a trailer for a film based on a game they like. Right, let's go into it. So the first thing that immediately stood out to me, and it seems like just from reading some other comments is kind of standing out to a lot of people, is that it doesn't look particularly Minecraft-y. Like, it's blocky, like mostly blocky. Obviously, like, it's difficult for them to do full blocks because just logistically, like, the characters would, or like the actors would be like jumping around the whole time. They've added like a lot of detail. Like, you can see, just you look at the trees, they have like a bunch of branches, and it's like a lot more 3D geometry than you'd get in Minecraft, which is just blocky. But it seems like they've said Minecraft is the game with blocks, so we will make it blocky. But then the rest of the style is just kind of nothing to do with Minecraft. Like, Minecraft is famous for its pixel art, and I'm not saying that this should just look like Minecraft because they want to go for spectacle. This is a blockbuster, but the problem is that like every blockbuster these days has spectacle, and there's only one that could have looked like Minecraft, and that's the Minecraft movie. And the Minecraft movie doesn't look like Minecraft. Like just like the textures, like the leaves, the water, like everything. It looks like a mod pack or like some sort of shader pack or something is kind of the art style that it looks like, which, I was expecting to a certain extent, but maybe not to this degree. I think there might have been some sort of middle ground where it could have looked a little bit closer to Minecraft, but of course still would have like realistic lighting and like the leaves blowing in the wind or that sort of thing. Whereas this just looks like what you'd expect from your standard computer generated movie, but the terrain is blocky rather than smooth. So that's kind of my first impression. Like the trees, like I really don't like the trees with like super realistic bark and stuff. That surprised me how far they went in that direction. So that was kind of my first response when I saw that. Also the mobs, I didn't realize they were going to go so far in the Detective Pikachu direction of the almost grossly realistic mobs, like with the really detailed fur and the eyes, but obviously it's got the unrealistic proportions because it's based on an unrealistic body shape, and so it kind of goes for humor by how detailed that they are, and I think that worked really well in Detective Pikachu. It's kind of a little bit too early to see how that's going to work. I think the wolf looks cool, but you kind of only really see it in silhouette. I think the piglins look alright. It's the the sheep and the llama that really stand out, but I think that's very intentional, like seeing the individual teeth and the tongue and stuff. Like I think they're going for humor with that. So yeah, that kind of surprised me, but I'm gonna hold judgment on it until I've seen the whole thing. The actors being part of the world, that's the part that I kind of struggled with. The fact that in a lot of the shots, not all of them, the actors didn't really look like they're in the world. And I've been kind of analysing it a little bit, trying to work out why that is. To be honest, I think a big part of it is just how fantastical and unreal the world is that they're in. I think that might be a contributing factor to why they look like they are in a studio in front of a green screen, which we all know is what the reality is. But I think because the world is so fantastical, I think that is the reason it looks like they stood out. I think if they took those exact same shots with lighting and matched it up with a more realistic looking environment, I think it would sell it a little bit more. And so I do think that is the type of thing that when watching through the entire feature-length film, I reckon after a certain point, maybe 20 minutes in, your brain would just start beginning to accept that they're in the world and it wouldn't stand out so much. But just in this short snippet where you're kind of taking in this world for the first time and then seeing these super realistic people, because there are real people inside of the world, I think our brain starts saying like, no, this doesn't match up here. And I think that might be a reason why, they do look so green screened in. But I don't think that's the only reason. I do think there's a technical reason as well. If you notice, a lot of the shots, almost all of them, the characters have always a really strong backlight, and you can mostly notice it around the hair of a lot of the characters. And a lot of the characters have curly hair, which I think sort of even emphasizes this further, where they have such a strong backlight over them. And the reason why a lot of films do a backlight is to give a separation from the background. But I think the thing is, the backlight is so strong and so universal that my brain doesn't believe that that is coming from the light source that is in the world. In this case, usually the sun or the moon. Like, it looks like studio lighting. And there's even one bit when they're speaking to Steve where you can see Jack Black has a really strong backlight behind him. And then it cuts to the rest of the cast, and they also have a really strong backlight behind them. And so my brain starts doing the maths, like, where's the sun meant to be here? And I think that is another big reason. I don't think they've done a brilliant job matching up the lighting for the world that's projected in the background with the characters that are in the scene. That may have been a stylistic choice. Like, they are going for a very bright, colourful look here, so they're kind of, there's not much shadows on the characters' faces in general. It's quite evenly lit, their faces, which is normal for comedies. But I do think it is contributing to the fact that the characters don't look like they are part of the world. But once again, I do think that maybe watching an entire film, maybe eventually you would stop noticing that and your brain would just kind of accept the reality that you're shown and accept that they are inside of this world. So maybe that won't be as big of a problem as it first seemed here. So let's just kind of talk in general about the fact that it is kind of live action footage kind of merged with computer graphics. I never liked the idea of it being real life people put into a Minecraft world. I would have much preferred it to be a fully animated film and the world is just Minecraft and the characters in the world have just always been in the Minecraft world and it's just this alternative world. Like, the obvious comparison is Minecraft story mode, where like they're breaking down things and building things, but they're not like, whoa, what are you doing? It's like, no, that's just the world that they're in. Like, I think there are almost infinite interesting stories that could be told in that world and really cleverly play on the fact that it's Minecraft. I'm a little bit worried that with this, there's going to be a lot of jokes, and there's kind of hints at it even within this teaser of like real life people reacting to the quirks of Minecraft. You can kind of see it with when they've punched down a tree and you can see it floating, or like they're crafting and you place down the thing and boom, and then it's crafted. Things that are normal inside of Minecraft but would be like weird if it was in real life. I'm a little bit worried that they're going to play on that trope a little bit too much, and there's going to be a lot of jokes that are playing on them reacting to things that are normal in Minecraft but aren't normal in the real world, because a lot of those jokes don't land with me, and I think they can get played out very quickly. Like, I think one or two for the big one. I think the floating tree is probably the obvious one. I'm concerned that that's what it's going to be throughout, but I don't know if that's what it's going to be. Like, that's complete speculation. Like, I think the time to show those sort of jokes is in the teaser. I think that's the sort of time you would show those shots. So maybe they've just selected those ones to showcase here because they play really well in a trailer without context, for Minecraft fans. So that was one of my worries. But yeah, in general, I would have preferred it to be a fully animated show. And I did actually say that. I spoke with Roy Lee, who's one of the producers of the film. I checked my emails all the way back in 2014. I'd give him a follow-up email after I met him at Warner Brothers. And he didn't say what the film was going to be, and I'm sure even if he had, it changed many times, but I knew it was going to be live action actors back then. And I, said that I personally would have preferred it to be a fully animated film, but that once again could absolutely just be personal preference, and I think there's a lot of people that would prefer this. I understand why the film studios might prefer it, because it means that they can have a bunch of famous actors on screen. If you're paying for all of these, a lot of them are award-winning actors, they probably want to have their faces on screens, and I do think it does set up to kind of have those easier jokes, and it also might be a little bit more approachable for people that aren't Minecraft fans, possibly. I'm not sure. So yeah, this is all complete speculation, because as I say, we've just seen this really good little glimpse. So I'm not even going to begin to comment on the overall story or anything, because the teaser really, quite rightly, is setting up the world. You get a little introduction to the characters. Just from seeing them a little bit, you get an idea a little bit of what their characters are going to be like, but mostly this is setting up the world, and it's quite vague in terms of what the overall story is, which I like. I like that in trailers in any way, and especially in teaser trailers. In terms of the actual actors, I'm not really that much of a film buff in terms of knowing actors, so I'm not familiar with most of the cast particularly well. I recognize some of them from what I've seen in this trailer. I have no concerns, even though they don't have a huge amount of dialogue individually. I think a lot of their reaction shots are quite good, for humor, so none of them stood out to me in any way. And if anything, this trailer's kind of given me confidence in them. I have no worry that any of them are going to be cringy, I suppose. So yeah, no issues with the casting. Obviously, Jack Black is kind of the standout. I'm really glad that he was cast. I like him. I think he's quite funny. He's also a huge Minecraft fan, and so I think it's nice that he's involved in the film. Gives me a lot of confidence. I'm sure he had an absolute blast with this film. I know his son as well is a big Minecraft fan, so hopefully he was able to bring his son to set as well and have a lot of fun. So that gives me a little bit of confidence as well. And then also just the team making it. A really good team. So as far as I know, it's a lot of the people that previously worked on the Lego movies, at least a lot of the heads. And I think both the Lego movies, well, I know there's more than two, but the two main Lego movies, I was a really big fan of both of them. I know the second one was maybe didn't have the same success as the first one and probably isn't as strong, but I was a big fan of those films, so I have a lot of confidence there. I also know that Mojang is really heavily involved with this. Vu in particular, I know, has been taking a very hands-on role for helping to produce this film, so I have a lot of confidence on him that he's going to kind of keep it faithful and within Mojang's vision for what they want Minecraft to be. And remember, they own Minecraft, we don't. The community has a huge influence on Minecraft without a doubt, and can shape the sentiment and the community around the game, but they are really the custodians of the game, and it's at the end of the day up to them. But the fact that, I know that this isn't them cashing in and they've sold the license to Minecraft and then they're going to give approval for whether it can go out or not. It isn't that situation. Mojang are involved in helping this, and so that does give me more confidence as well. Some of the humor, obviously, it's just a very small teaser. I was a little bit worried about some of kind of the more visual gags. Once again, with the mobs, there's the extended joke at the end with the llama didn't particularly hit for me, and they do kind of a very similar joke at the beginning with the sheep. I was surprised at how young this trailer seemed geared towards. Like, it seemed much like very much geared towards a younger audience, is what I meant to say, which I'm surprised by. Like, obviously it's going to be a family friendly film and suitable for kids, and should be enjoyable for children, but Minecraft has been out for so long and is played by people of so many ages. I was expecting this trailer to kind of represent that a little bit further, whereas this does very much play like a kid's movie. Whereas, once again, to bring it back to the Lego movies, I think the Lego movies did a really good job of appealing to all ages, and that may just be down to the shots chosen for this trailer rather than what the actual film is going to be. But I was surprised at how geared towards children this was for kind of the first introduction for what people are seeing for the film. But once again, maybe that's just sort of subjective humor and maybe other people found those bits really funny, other adults. But yeah, I guess those are kind of overall like my first thoughts for the teaser. Like, as always with this stuff, I've seen like a lot of like negativity, like super quick about it. I mean, I'm just looking through the comments of the trailer, and I think it's just, I mean, like, this is the sort of thing they're never going to win on, because Minecraft is so many things to so many different people. Like, there's nothing that they could have put out that everyone would be like, yes, this is what I had in my head for the thing that I love. Like, they had an impossible task. There's nothing that I've seen that makes me particularly worried about what this film is going to be. Like, I think it's going to be a big hit. I think it may be the highest grossing animated film of all time. Like, that wouldn't be a surprise to me. Like, that would almost hardly be a headline. Like, obviously that would be huge news, but it's Minecraft and an animated film of it made by Warner Brothers. Like, at a certain point, it almost feels like it's failed its goal if it's not been that, especially when you look at the success of like the Pokemon films, of Mario, of Sonic. Like, animated films made of big video game franchises are like among the biggest films like at all now, and there's nothing bigger than Minecraft. So if this isn't an enormous hit, like, something has seriously gone wrong, and I've not seen anything that makes me think it is not going to be that. Obviously, the visual look of what the film looks like, yeah, I just don't find it looks very visually appealing. What I always like with these sorts of adaptations is seeing, oh, what will the film version of this thing in the game look like? And I like that with everything, even like in books. I like saying, oh, what is the film version of this thing I imagined in my head going to look like? And one of the things I was looking forward to was, what is the film big budget version of Minecraft going to look like? And this looks like too distinct of an art style. I don't think I'm going to get that satisfaction of seeing what does this look like translated onto a big screen, because it just looks like something different. Like, this doesn't look like Minecraft to me. Like, yeah, I bet you could run some sort of filter and just soften off some of the blocks, and it would just like look like a completely other, more generic film franchise, which I'm personally a little bit disappointed for, but I understand the reason why the decision may have been made to be like that is because they want to make it look like the best possible. And it's like, oh, sure, if we kept it to blocks, it could be like this. But if we just added a bit more detail here and added this lighting here, and if we let the leaves look like actual leaves, like, yeah, as I said, it looks like some sort of mashup pack or some shader pack or mod or something, rather than Minecraft, which... yeah, even with me expecting it was going to be live action actors, which I wasn't a fan of, I wasn't expecting the rest of the style to be such a departure, which I was a bit disappointed about. But I mean, I'm probably still going to watch it. Probably not in the cinema, because that might be difficult, and as I go in a disguise, because that'd probably be a little bit tricky for me. But yeah, like, there's nothing that I've seen that makes me think this is going to be a bad film. If it has like a solid plot and the cast are as good as they seem from the first impression that I've seen of them, like, I think this could be like a super solid film, maybe even a great film, and I am certainly curious to see and hear more about it when it comes out. So yeah, those are my first takes. Any other thoughts that I forgot to mention, I can leave as a comment down below. If you've got any questions for me, feel free to leave them down below. And oh yeah, one more thing while we're talking about Minecraft. Did you know that my lovely world is now available on the Minecraft marketplace? thought I might as well use this as an opportunity to mention it. Yeah, just in case you hadn't seen that and you're just kind of coming here to hear my thoughts on the film, my actual original lovely world that I spent over 10 years building is now available on the Minecraft marketplace. So that's on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, PC, mobile devices. Anything else? Am I missing anything? I think that's it. I think that's all the platforms. So yeah, if you did want to kind of check that out, I can leave a link for that down in the description, or if you just search like Stampy like in the store, it should come up with my lovely world. But anyway, that's the end of this video here. Thank you so much for spending the last 20 minutes or so with me. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you later. Bye.